I have all of these random pairs of shoes out from my Instagram live that I did with Boss Brooke. And I'm sitting here thinking, what should my video today be on? And I think I'm just gonna give you guys some tips. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be really fun. I wanted to talk about just different tips and tricks I have for buying designer shoes. I know with a lot of us, buying designer shoes is something that's super fun. We're super excited to do it. It's something that we put a lot of thought into, and it's not something that is taken lightly. So I thought that these tips would be really useful, and it should make your shopping a lot easier. So without further ado, let's start with tip number 1. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was making sure that you're shopping with someone that you trust. Now, when I say shopping with a retailer that you trust, I don't necessarily mean that you're in danger of buying something that's fake. I'm assuming if you're coming to my channel, you're not interested in fakes, you're not interested in dupes, you're not interested in anything other than authentic luxury, and you respect the product. When I say buy from a trusted seller, I mean buy from someone that, one, has a return policy that you think you can adhere to, because that's a really big one. Now, for example, with Christian Louboutin, their return policy at the actual boutique is 14 days, whereas at Nordstrom, you probably have more time. Assuming that in neither case, whether you're at Christian Louboutin or Nordstrom, assuming that you didn't actually wear them. And Christian Louboutin heels are very obvious to tell if someone was wearing them. All you have to do is not walk on the carpet and walk on a hard surface, and the paint, because that's all it is, the paint will start to wear off. So it's very obvious if someone's worn Christian Louboutin shoes. But that being said, you want to make sure that you are buying from a place where you personally can adhere to that return policy. Personally, for me, I don't really return things. I really make sure that I'm thinking through what I'm buying, especially if it's something that's at a price point that is so high. So I really am not the type of person to return things. I would rather, sit there and decide, should I get this, should I not get this, should I get this? Instead of bringing it home and then bring it back in. That's just me. Nothing wrong with it if you're the type of person who would rather just buy it and decide later. All I'm saying is that you want to make sure that if you are going to go down that route, that it is a place that has a return policy that you personally can adhere to. The other thing that I want to talk about when it comes to trust is the fact that you may have something wrong with your shoes, and you want to make sure that you're shopping with a retailer that would take them back and wouldn't give you any guff and stress you out and kind of not give you the benefit of the doubt. Here's an example. So my Valentino Poudre rock stud pumps, well, let's start. This is another tip that I'm gonna, elaborate on down the line, but I always look over my shoes. I always look them over super carefully. I try to look for any imperfections, but sometimes things can be overlooked in the lighting of the store. So I took the shoes home. I didn't see any imperfections or anything in the actual store, but when I got home, I looked and I saw the tiniest blemish, and I don't really think anyone else would care about this, but I would, because I'm a huge perfectionist and I love my shoes to be perfect when I first get them. But I honestly don't think anyone else would have really cared about this little mark. It was so tiny. Hopefully I can find it on my phone so I can kind of insert the picture of how small this mark is. It's so ridiculous. But I'm sure people watching this who are also fellow shoe lovers will understand why I was being so anal about it and how your shoes have to be perfect, because they're one of my babies. Anyways, I called Nordstrom. I asked to talk to my salesperson. I told her, hey, there's a little mark on the shoe. And she's like, oh, bring it back. There were no questions asked. The shoes were in pristine condition other than that blemish, and there's no way that I could have caused that blemish in such a short amount of time. So it's a big tip to make sure that you're shopping at trusted retailers, because you want to make sure that if you were to have any sort of issue, they would give you the benefit of the doubt, because many other stores would not. they might say, oh, well, how do I know you didn't do that? Or like, I'm sorry, we can't do that. Whatever the case may be. So make sure that you're shopping at a store that is trusted and has great customer service, because if there's ever a time where you need good customer service, it's when you're buying something that is luxury, right? Okay, so all of that brings me to my next point, which is to review the shoes. You want to review the shoes all around, even the bottom, before you walk out. And I just described to you how I have made errors and I have thought shoes were fine and totally acceptable, and then I got home and I saw a very small little mark. But in the store, you want to make sure that you are completely looking the shoes over. If you're buying nice shoes, they need to be perfect. This is not the time to be low maintenance. You don't need to be low maintenance about buying high maintenance shoes, right? We don't need to go, oh, you know what, there's a mark on there, like, no big deal. It's like, yeah, no, it is a big deal. And we're not going to accept shoes that have marks on them. It's just ridiculous. I'm not as picky with, that's a lie. I'm not even gonna lie. I was gonna say I'm not as picky with regular shoes, but that's a lie. I love shoes. I have such a great deal of respect for them. Shoes are my favorite thing on this planet. So I don't know why I was about to sit here and lie to you guys and try and act like I'm more low maintenance about shoes that are, you know, less expensive, because that's just not the truth. If you want someone who is low maintenance, chill, go with the flow, doesn't freak out when something's not perfect, I am not the girl to follow, okay? You do not need to follow me if that is what you're looking for, because I am the person who is going to tell you to level up, have high standards, always expect the best because you deserve it. That's going to be me. And I don't mean just in life. I mean with your purchases too. With your purchases. You just should expect the best. And I don't care what price point it is. I expect the best. So, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, don't follow me if you want someone who's gonna be chill. I'm not chill. I'm not chill, and I'm proud to not be chill, right? There you go. But yeah, so you want to make sure that you are making sure that the shoes are in that pristine, gorgeous condition. And like I already mentioned, if they're not, call the store, let them know what the problem is. And if they are a trusted seller, I don't know why I said seller. It's a little weird. And if they are a trusted retailer who has great customer service, then they will take them back like that. So my third piece of advice is 100% my opinion, as are all of these things, but I think some of the things that I say are a little bit more fact-based. This is definitely just an opinion. I would say don't buy trendy shoes, buy classics. The only way that I would recommend that you buy trendy shoes is if you got it like that. If you're just balling out of control, you can spend like hundreds of thousands of dollars on shoes. Sure, buy trendy shoes, buy luxury trendy shoes. I absolutely support that 100%. But for the rest of us, I would not recommend for you to buy trendy shoes. I think you can buy trendy shoes at like $100 price point, but I don't think that you should be buying trendy shoes at $1,000 price point, a $600 price point, whatever the case may be. I don't, that's just my personal opinion. I think that if you're buying nice shoes, they should be an investment, and they should be something that's going to last you a long time. There should be something that's going to stand the test of time, and they should be something that's not going to be out of style in a few months. That's where you can spend a lot less money and buy cute shoes for cheaper. So I definitely would not recommend for you guys to be buying trendy shoes at the designer level. It's just not something that I think makes a lot of sense, especially for most people's budgets. Like I said, if you have hundreds of thousands of dollars to spend on shoes, do it. Do it. I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to judge you. I'm going to be sitting right front row. Love it, love it, love it. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. You have Oprah money, you have Kylie Jenner money, you have that, definitely do it. But if you live in the real world, which I know some people watching this are going to say, how am I going to say I live in the real world? I have a whole YouTube channel about designer shoes and luxury shoes. And I wouldn't have a rebuttal for that, but whatever. If you live in what I call the real world, then I would not recommend buying trendy, expensive shoes. Just my opinion. Okay, the next piece of advice, and I cannot stress this enough. Make sure you can walk. Please, Lord, 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 please make sure you can walk. It is not elegant, it is not cute, it is not sexy if you're walking like a baby deer. Don't buy shoes that you cannot walk in. Just don't. You know what? No. You can buy shoes you can't walk in if you're going to be using them just to take photos. Again, you're Oprah, you're Kylie Jenner, you're Rockefeller. You got it like that? And you buy shoes solely for photos, I'm in. Buy shoes you can't walk in. I'm 100% behind that. So for the people outside of Oprah and Kylie Jenner, since I just made the assumption that they're watching my video, I guess, but for the people outside of that group, you should buy shoes that you can actually walk in because you will be walking. So you should be able to walk. Right. Because you will be walking in them. So you should know how to walk in them. Right? Yeah, I think so. So my last piece of advice, and this is arguably the best piece of advice I can give you guys. It's love them or don't buy them. Love them or don't buy them. This kind of ties all the way back to the beginning and my first point. And my first point was about how I don't return things, really. It's because I don't buy things that I don't love. And that's something that I would highly recommend. If you're on the fence, don't get it. Wait. See what you think about it in a week, a month, whatever the case may be. But don't buy something unless you're completely in love with it. I love all of my pairs of shoes. I showed you guys just a small snippet of my shoe collection in the beginning of this video. And I had to select 5 shoes to be someone's guest on Instagram, and it was hard for me to even choose 5 because I love them all so much. And that's how you should feel about your shoes. You should feel like it's hard for you to choose a single pair. And if you don't feel like adding shoe X is going to do that for your life, then I really don't think that you should get them. You should be as passionate as I'm getting right now about all of your shoes. If someone was not aware of the content of this video and that this was about shoes, they would think I was giving like a political speech. That's how passionate I get about shoes. And that's how you should be. That's how you should be. And if you don't feel like that, then I really don't think you should purchase. Save your money and wait till it's something that you love. So those are my 5 tips for buying designer shoes. I hope this helps you guys out. I hope you guys had fun watching, and I hope that this makes your shopping easier. Ultimately, I created this channel to be something that is a resource to people. I want to help people. I'm not trying to say that I'm the Mother Teresa of shoes, but if you want to say that, that's fine. And I want the information to be useful. I don't want to just talk about random things. And that's why I've said so many times that I really appreciate when people tell me, hey, can you talk about this? Can you talk about that? So feel free to DM me on Instagram, comment below, whatever the case may be. I definitely want to hear your guys' feedback. If you did like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Always follow me on Instagram. I'd love it if you'd come and follow me at GlamourGraceFaith. And I'll see you guys in the next one.